Welcome to Planet Pert, where you could get in free, but you gotta be a G. And like a Newport short in Louisiana Parish jail, I ain't got no filter.
He said coming soon, so it's officially patented. No one can copy it.
We play the Steelers sometime soon. November, I think.
Man, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you.
When we can either do gumbo or we can barbecue.
Yeah. All right, so today we got under sports. We are going to be discussing boxing, UFC, and of course music. We are going to talk about are there rules in beef and these tragedies, this local violence in local areas, man, with yellow bees and people getting shot and stuff. So we're gonna discuss all of that. So let's go. What we got for boxing? What we got to say about boxing, man?
So apparently Canelo signed a 320 mil?
65.
Oh, 365? Oh, shit. Oh, I'm bad. Just shitted more in my life. $365 million streaming deal. How do we feel about that, Trey? Is that a good move? Is that bad for boxing?
I don't really understand. Like, we need more boxing then. And, like, these dudes, they can only get hit so many times in the head per year. Well, shit, per fight, right? And so, like, are we about to see like a new influx of him plus his stable of boxers? Is it just him? Is it like a real 360 deal, like a music 360 deal? Where like they get a piece, a little bit of everything? Like what are we really selling here?
Well, hey, let's first up before we get into it, let's read a little bit about what's going on. I'm looking at ESPN.com article from Dan Raphael. It goes, as the old saying goes, as one door closes, another one opens. Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, stable fighters including Canelo Alvarez, the unified middleweight world champion, boxing's biggest superstar, have long been stalwarts of HBO, but with the recent premium cable network's recent announcement after 45 years of putting up the most biggest fights in boxing, it was bowing out of the sports at the end of the year. They were in need of a new broadcast home.
Okay. And
then they have landed a very lucrative one with the new sports streaming service DAZN through 2023. In a record-shattering deal finalized early Wednesday morning, Alvarez signed a 5-year, 11-fight deal worth $365 million with DAZN, which only launched in the United States in September. Whew.
So is he? I guess one of my questions is, and maybe we don't have enough detail, or maybe it's there. Is he just gonna? Are these fights going to be exclusively to the streaming service?
I think so.
You know what I mean?
No, I think so.
Are they going to be accountable for the pay-per-view now?
No,
receiving those funds, or is that going to be extra?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like a title where you release it and it's free as long as I'm paying for the service?
Okay.
Is that the way that we moving? And I think my biggest question is, as big of a fighter as he is, did he kind of undercut himself a little bit on the money? Because Mayweather made that much on 2 fights. I mean, talk about it. Let's talk about it.
All right, so like I'm not going to say he undercut himself because I think that because he's the first to do it.
Okay.
Right? He's showing a new way to profit.
Okay.
Right? And I'm sure that he's going to find ways to exploit whatever deal he has to the best of his ability, or at least to where it's guaranteed money. Right?
Okay.
What I think it really is a signal to all the HBOs and Showtimes and everybody else that there's other players in the game, because everybody's cutting the cord on cable.
Okay.
And so it's making it the real final frontier on how do you get that consumer, right? Because for the first time ever, like you remember when we first started, like there weren't that many channels, man. And there really weren't that many things that you could honestly choose within a given day, right?
Right.
Like cartoons were at a certain time. There wasn't a Cartoon Network, you know what I mean? But it's like now you can get whatever you want. Yeah. And we're not even going to talk about the YouTube that went down for a very long time. Yeah. And that's my X-Files that I just want to throw out there. I would love to talk about what I think happened. But I think that now more than ever, people are getting to the point where they don't want to. There's enough ways to get around paying for that pay-per-view. That if you're just streaming it anyway, as long as it's a stable stream, I might pay $2 to $5.
All right, so let's see here. Look here, I got a little bit of something here.
Okay.
Alvarez is boxing's biggest pay-per-view star of the post-Mayweather Pacquiao era, generating hundreds of millions of dollars for events on HBO pay-per-view and before that Showtime pay-per-view. But the move to DAZN will take him off of HBO pay-per-view, where his fights cost him around $80 a piece for viewers, and place his 2 fights per year on an all-sports streaming service that charges $9.99 a month. For a slew of combat sports offerings.
I told you.
When Alvarez was fighting on pay-per-view, he would earn money for every buy above a set threshold beyond his guaranteed purse.
Yep.
But even though DAZN doesn't offer pay-per-view, Alvarez can still earn even more money beyond his guaranteed base on a specific subscription benchmarks.
Right.
That DAZN can't reach course of deal. So pretty much, I guess he gets he has a base. Well, he already has a deal, right? He already has a contract for or whatever, how much money. But if any one of his fights go above the projected subscriptions, then, or if we get a whole bunch of spike in business right before one specific fight, then I guess they'll give him a bonus or something pay on top of that. So
get more.
So I guess this is why. And so pretty much what you're doing is saying, okay, you can, like you're saying, you can either go the Mayweather route and get a whole bunch of money for one fight. Or then you can sign a deal and say, okay, I know I'm going to be fighting for the next such many years.
True. So
let me just go ahead and get this guaranteed money.
The guy's like 50 fights in, but he's young as hell, right? This is actually, now that you come with those details, this is actually game changing, bro. Like this is the Netflix of boxing. This is the Spotify of boxing. Exactly. This is that's crazy. This is YouTube Red of boxing, man. Like if you can get people to buy into that, of course he's not fighting every month, right? But there's going to be fights every month. Like there's a fight like every weekend if you think about sports or boxing in that sense of the word.
UFC
so if you
like that,
well, not just the UFC, Bellator, a lot of these other places. Trust me, there's so many different places that do this, man. That's actually smart as hell by getting people to come in and only spend $10 a month. And yes, you can watch a $100 fight for $10 a month, but you're spending $120 a year.
Now, also, that he's not the only one. I mean, I guess he's the biggest one, but
of course.
They actually have. I was just reading, they have access to a lot of De La Hoya's old footage. So his old fights. So Golden Boy's footage also you can get through that streaming service as well.
This is big.
No, this changed. No, because this changed.
Okay, what's up, Trey?
Obviously. So he's a Golden Boy fighter, right?
Yeah.
We already know that, right?
Okay.
Oscar's been grooming that dude from the beginning.
Right.
And so, knowing now that the old footage is there, right? So really, it's not a Canelo deal. It was an Oscar De La Hoya deal and the promotion company deal.
Yes.
Because now I was wondering where was the stable at that was going to be able to fulfill this deal. And now I know exactly where the stable at. It's not stable.
Although Alvarez is the centerpiece of the deal, De La Hoya had leverage to use Alvarez to secure dates and license fees from DAZN for his company's non-Alvarez events.
Wow.
The deal, for which financial terms were not disclosed, calls for Golden Boy to put up to 10 high caliber fight nights per year that will stream live on DAZN beginning early 2019.
Okay.
Those fights would include Golden Boy's other top fighters, including junior welterweight and former 3-division world titleist George Linares, junior featherweight titleist Ray Vargas, middleweight contender David Lemieux,
Oscar
featherweight contender Joseph Diaz Jr. and junior featherweight contender Diego De La Hoya, as well as junior lightweight Ryan Garcia and junior welterweight Virgil Ortiz Jr., 2 of boxing's top prospects.
So now you just took the whole game away from Oscar. Oh, wow, how fitting. You took the game away from HBO, from from Showtime, from NBC, from ESPN. Man, I don't need any of y'all. I'm my own entity. I will create the content that people will pay for $9.99 to where the only boxing is my boxing, son.
Man, I think that's smart. I think that's smart and game changing at the same time.
You know, people will follow suit.
So are we watching pay-per-view become
let me ask you this.
My wallet
are we watching pay-per-view become the new DVD?
Well, let me
you know what I mean by that though, right? Are we watching pay-per-view fade the fuck out because DVDs faded the fuck out? Everything's digital now. Are we that's what I'm asking you. Are we watching pay-per-view become the new what I could just pay for a subscription all year?
I just uncut her. Man, they just.
But you've already done it. You've already done it with UFC and WWE.
No, no. Because
UFC has a fight pass where you can just pay every so much a month or so much a year, in which you'll get every one.
Exactly.
And it'll be streaming. So you don't have to actually just pay for every single pay-per-view. You'll pay a monthly fee or a yearly fee, whatever it breaks down to, and you'll get all the fights.
My question is still valid though.
No, it was. I'm saying it's
watching pay-per-view become old news, basically.
Because they're about to undercut
the CD becomes the fucking tape player.
You're saying it's $9.99 per month, right?
Right, for that streaming service.
$9.99 per month. So $120, really, $120 per month, or you pay for 2 UFC pay-per-views, which are usually around $60, right?
Thank you.
$60 for 2 months,
boxing,
and then.
No,
I understand what you're saying about
same
I'm
thing.
saying that they're going to undercut UFC to where that UFC pay-per-view is not going. That dollar is not going to be there anymore.
They're going to have to give it
away. Well, I don't know.
More.
I think the difference is, Trey, though, UFC is a company versus fighters are individual. So I don't think anybody for the UFC probably can fight on a streaming. You can't just stream. You see what I'm saying? So like with the DAZN company is $9.99 and they're going to stream these boxers because they signed these contracts to stream their fights. But you can't stream UFC because it's already a company. They can't fight under anybody when they're contracted under UFC.
But I'm saying it's a Golden Boy contract. I say all the names that we're getting. Those are just
why you can get the
distractions.
old footage for De La Hoya.
And so like it's really just more content for Golden Boy to be the only boxing game in town, because you see right now, like the top rank is going.
So
to
do you
ESPN.
see Mayweather Productions doing something like that?
Would
it be a point? Would it be worth it? Because I'm thinking like, because right now we're like, it's a great deal. Canelo getting all this money, but would we say the same thing if Mayweather did this?
Well, he has the 24/7.
If he's already making as much money as he's making, what would his deal have to look like? $1 billion?
Mayweather
from a managing aspect or from boxing?
No, I'm saying from
a check chasing right
would
now.
he make I'm saying like in his prime where he's making like this
much
money to fight.
No.
Would this have made sense then? And why does it make sense for Canelo now? Why is this a game changer now?
Mayweather never ever had another fighter. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Oscar De La Hoya is that when he became washed up, he had this ginger Mexican who was in the barrio kicking ass, dude. Yeah. They say, man, when I first saw that dude on HBO, right? When I first saw Canelo on HBO, I was like, who is this cat? Because he was literally knocking people down with body shots. And I was like, body shots, son? Like a headshot, anybody can get kicked, can get hit.
That's why I say he had like 50 fights, and he's only like 20.
Yeah. No, he was.
That's 50 professional fights, right?
Yes.
But he was brought in during like the old ways of Mexican fighting. Like he
still took an L, man.
Not
he took an L to
triple
twice.
He did, and Mayweather
twice.
But they fucked him on the Triple G. Well, whatever. Yeah. But going into the UFC, I don't know if the UFC will jump on something right now.
I think they're going to try to hold on to their dollar and lose money, man.
You see John Bones coming back.
Bone Jones is back. Bone Jones is coming back. I think the way that the UFC pimps their fighters, which
how many times does he have to piss before the fight?
Probably
2 weeks before, 2 weeks after.
2 weeks before, 2 weeks after?
Yeah, but
you think he's going to make it?
Yeah.
The real question is, if he gets the title, right? If he goes on a run, gets the title again, will he keep the title this time?
Well, DC wants to fight him at heavyweight.
Man, DC
wasn't he always heavyweight?
He said that DC was.
No, he wasn't. He fought a few heavyweights, but he wasn't always heavyweight.
He would be a small ass.
He'll never.
He
get
has
DC
fought heavyweight
fight.
before though.
No, he said he will.
Jones has because of what? Didn't he fight Rampage and heavy?
Gustafson gave him.
Rampage was light heavyweight.
Yeah, Gustafson gave him a run for his money.
He the only one who took him 5 rounds.
Yes, and fucked his face up.
Yeah, they both got messed up. It was a nice fight.
Honestly,
it was a great fight.
It could have went anyway, and I wouldn't have been mad.
But it was one of them. It was one of them. You have to really beat the champ to take the belt.
To beat the champ,
and not like just outscore him.
Gustafson, Alexander.
That's after I phased away from him.
Oh no! This guy's about the same height as him.
Yeah, it's pretty much
fights the same way.
Yeah.
He really had to strategize and dig deep into his shit and deep in the third round because he lost those first 2.
Well, he came close to getting knocked the fuck out.
Yes.
There was a couple of times when I was like, okay,
I've never seen Bones Jones that beat up before.
Yeah, I was like,
his lip had a lip.
Yeah.
Like
I
mean, it was a legit
Buster
fight.
Douglas. John Jones. I mean, like, I'm so pissed off at him for being like, because if you're gonna pop positive for something, let it be something dank.
Yeah,
you got me for some knockoff Viagra. That means that you were so embarrassed that you just didn't
know a lot of
go
those supplements. That's why when people offer me supplements and they try to tell me to do this, I don't mess with those things because they will drop your libido, bro, and they won't have you up to performance, bro. So I'm not faulting anything that they do, like those bodybuilders. When people be like, "Hey man, just take this right there. It'll give you a short attitude, and you'll be short with your girl." I'm like, wait. Why
the hell do I want that?
like, so you telling me I can wake up fucking in the county? Like, why am I here? Like, no, we're not doing
like
that.
your man's on the when he on the video.
So
got popped for off.
I understand that, Trey. But what I'm
I
telling
thought he
you
got popped for cocaine too.
Well, that's not why he got suspended. These
that's
times
what he got
whatnot.
arrested
so,
for, I think. Right?
Yes, well that was just bad, man. Like he's had some bad run-ins, and we talked about that at the Black Champions last week, and we kind of got into that. Like the thing with the UFC, man. I think they're biased in a lot of ways because when Brock came and fought that same fight, that same card, I should say, when Bones got suspended, they told Brock he didn't have to take 2 tests. They told him, "No, you're good. We know you're juicing. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to take the test." But then you're gonna sit up here and put this man on it. That's why I be telling. That's when I be bringing up my bullshit that I bring up because I'm like, okay, well, where the playing fields even at? You know what I mean? Like they're not because Brock didn't have to take no drug test because you know he was juicing out there. Then he comes, you know,
a man that damn size and not.
Fuck out of here, bro.
That's not natural.
But
I think part of it is natural at one point in time, like when he was like that Olympian and that beast. But I think
to be that big and that athletic at the same time,
and that athletic.
I've never seen a guy that big move that fast.
No, but he has to be juicing to be part of.
Well, but WWF. I mean, the thing is too though. Fighting shape, fighting athleticism, and like sport, you know, like say like a football or like a contact sport athletic, like we have to actually run and have a lot of wind versus you can actually be smart and to fight in 30 seconds or you know what I mean.
Yeah, but he was smart. He could move.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, well, I don't think the fact that he's that old because UFC has had 40-year-old fighters and still look good, you know. So
you know
what I mean? Like I just don't think like I think fighting is a little bit different. Like you can be that old and that big in a good in fighting and it won't shock no one versus let's say if he was dominating the NFL in tackles or leading in sacks at his age coming in right now, that's totally different.
So are you saying he wasn't on the juice?
No, I'm just saying it doesn't. I don't know.
I'm trying to corner you. Come on.
I don't think it's juice. I mean, it might have been like illegal. I mean, not illegal, but like substances against the rules of what you can take.
While we're on the UFC, man, they have an arrogance to them, man. Like the way that they do certain fighters is where I was going with my point. Is if you look at the whole McGregor, Khabib, this whole thing with the suspensions and all
Both
that other stuff, that's perfectly fine. But they walk around like they're the only UFC MMA fight business.
But can you say they're not the most popular?
My favorite fighter doesn't fight for them.
All right, that's your favorite fighter. But can you say that they're not the most popular right now?
I think it's a brand. I think it's brand chasing when it comes to people.
Branding,
I can't say that for sure because I tuned in to Bellator. I watched the Bellator's fights over this
Right,
weekend.
but do you compare the numbers of a Bellator card versus a UFC card?
Depends on who's fighting, though.
No, I'm saying no. It doesn't matter who's fighting. I'm saying the numbers, right? You talk about the your favorite is on Bellator, not UFC. But my point is, doesn't the UFC deserve the right to walk around like they're the biggest, baddest on the block because they're actually making the most money? So is Bellator making more than UFC right now?
I don't know the numbers of both.
I wouldn't say that because I don't
know the numbers of both.
Right. I mean, you got
because MMA is a worldwide thing. You have Strikeforce. You have you have Invicta. You have so many different platforms that in America, right. But like a lot of the British fighters and a lot of other fighters, they fight for Bellator and they fight. So right, you can say that's big here, right?
And then look at the checks though. Well, are they making more money in the UFC or are they making more money in Bellator?
50 offered $2 million for him to come over there and fight with him. So that's all they were going to pay. That's all they were going to pay Khabib anyway was $2 million.
$2 million. That's 50's $2 million.
So I mean, what are you saying?
That's 50's $2 million versus Bellator.
If you're worth it, you'll get it. That's the whole MMA game, right?
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is,
if you're worth it, you'll get it. Though, D.
This is what I'm saying. That's not. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is you're talking about $2 million coming from 50 versus a contract with Bellator.
What are you talking? Fighters be getting paid?
Bellator wouldn't give him $2 million. 50 came out and said, "I will give you $2 million."
Because he's not associated with Bellator. He knows what that means for Bellator.
Still his money. What I'm saying is you still can't say that he would have made more.
You think 50 is talking for 50?
You are not. You're understanding my point. That's not even. I don't even care about that.
You think he's talking for him or for the company? That's all. You think 50's actually going to give him $2 million? 50 doesn't want to pay people he owes.
What I'm saying is, the whole point.
50 doesn't want to pay people he owes.
Forget that. What I'm saying is that wouldn't have came up unless 50 said it. What I'm saying is, if that guy would have said Bellator, I'd rather fight in your league. They would not have said that. They would not have given him $2 million. What I'm saying is, you're still going to get more money from the UFC regardless.
Yeah.
You're still going to go to the UFC and get more money when you're looking at UFC versus Bellator. Now, like you said, 50 came out and said, I'll give you $2 million if you come to Bellator. Right. Or I can get you $2 million. Let's say you read between the lines. I can make sure they get you $2 million, right?
That's definitely what he meant.
Right. I get that. What I'm saying is that's still an outside source doing that versus actually saying if I go to Bellator, I would get $2 million before 50 even did it.
So do we feel like you have to go to UFC
no,
in order
you
to
don't.
be successful?
No, you do
That's
not.
all
And
I'm
no
saying.
one's saying that. What I'm saying is they have the right to say I'm the only one around because ain't no other platform is making money like we making money.
I still think that's an American thing.
Right, but of course there's a way to prove it.
In other places of the world,
there's a way to prove it.
Because besides McGregor, who's really punching in cards? Ronda Rousey's gone. And when's the last time you tuned into a UFC fight outside of the McGregor fight? Raise your hand in here. If you saw more than 5 fights,
but I don't think any of us are UFC fanatics. So,
yeah, I lost interest in UFC.
Raise your hand if you saw more than 2 fights this year.
None of us are UFC fanatics. But if you went into a whole fan of UFC people, then it'd be a different story. So it's like we're not UFC fanatics. I know, so we can't use us.
But I watch it. I'm an MMA fanatic, but I'm not comparing myself to everybody. I'm not going there. But what I'm telling you is, when I go to the bars, they're not having all these fights on. They're not charging for the fight parties. They're not doing all of this. Only I know when they're going to do it.
They used to.
If DC fights fucking Bones again, I expect to pay a fee to get in here to watch this fight.
Right.
If McGregor comes back and fight, it could be fights anybody. I expect because he has the clout.
Yeah.
You know, he's on top of the cloud right now, bro. Like he has everything going. He's floating in the sky. Like he's looking down on us, pissing on us. That's why he told him, take your $2 million, shove it down your fucking throat. I hope it doesn't choke on the way down. Like he went off on this dude, bro. Like he said, keep the $2 million. I don't care. This is where I want to go with that because I understand that man's position. He said, you suspend my brother, you fire him, you fire me. I never fight for you again.
Keep your money, Dana.
Yes.
Okay, I'm thinking you talking about. He said that to 50.
No. He told 50. He told 50.
I was like, send me the location.
Send me the location.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I thought he was saying that to 50. Like,
he went off on Dana, bro, because they feel
No, I already get the whole thing.
And
if you do my brother, we in Russia.
I fucking ride with that, bro. Like I ride with that 100%, man. Like because that's character, man. Like you can't pay for character, bro. Like you can't sit up here and make someone be a hero if they're not a hero? Like that's like when people
people
don't call you the greatest. You can't say I'm the greatest.
But let's be real. Hey, hold on. But let's be real. He ain't doing nothing but getting a bigger check for whatever next fight he gets.
You ain't see him in front of the Benz? No, what was that? What kind of car was that?
That could have been somebody else's car.
But no, that was Dana's car. He was like, with the belt, he's like, you lucky you gave me my belt, motherfucker. I'm about to fuck your car up, nigga. Fuck your money, man. Yeah. Like, man, these people, and then we talked about that, bro. Like, culturally, man, like, people take shit way serious than we do here. You feel me? Like, America is like first world problems, bro. Like, oh, my phone's dead. It won't charge, and end of the world, right? Like, that ain't shit to them. They like, man, I don't even use this shit anyway. You know what I mean? But like, and someone can sit up here and disrespect your religion, disrespect whatever. Like, we won't care about that.
Yeah.
But these people, bro, they take it to a higher power and a higher standard.
They care about though.
What do you mean these people?
White people.
Oh.
Y'all don't care.
Oh.
Look at Trump. Look at that all shit.
Y'all.
Hey, man. Hey,
what do you mean, y'all?
Beto.
I feel
Beto.
offended.
I'm sorry, Beto.
I feel offended.
Nah, man. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. It's just like, you know, man, we can roll to something else, man. But that's why
we good.
That's just where I was at with that, man.
We got a nice little. We got a couple of minutes to close out. We still got a couple of minutes to close out.
You know.
I think that we're actually past the point of the prime of UFC, and so
I do too.
I think that now everybody's starting to smell. I think what could be that whole could be BS that happened. What it was blood in the water, just like with the Malice in the Palace and the NBA. Just when like everybody started to see,
But Trey, let me ask you though, Trey. Let me ask you, how many fighters have won at Dana like that and still came back and got a bigger bag because of the drama made it more?
Conor did.
Right? Exactly. So I'm seriously thinking if there may be a McGregor and it could be two. No. And they will make even more money on the next fight because everyone's gonna want to see
his uncle already said no. His uncle already said
everyone says that until they come up with the right price.
Oh yeah,
and I understand. No, I think that what we're missing on this whole could be more than anything else was that he wasn't playing by our rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he
he
was playing by the mountains of Russia.
Right.
Like their respect means something
way
totally
different
than the respect of
I've seen people die for less.
Right, no, and even saying that, and all right, but even with saying that, and that's 100% true. But even with saying that, wouldn't it be like more honorable to beat this dude ass again?
No. I think they already showed.
That's why he said fucking $2 million. I knew he knew what he was risking when he jumped out of that stage.
But I've seen a lot of people say that, and like, my next fight gonna be $8 million. Watch, if I say for this $2 million, my next fight gonna be 8. And my next fight I'm thinking that's what it's about because you can't say this dude is not gonna fight again.
No, man, he was sitting there with Putin.
Let's be right. But what if they make it? Let's see if they make it right.
Honoring
a business deal can be made.
He was sitting there with Putin, and Putin was over giving him the once over and was like, "Hey, man, you showed that exactly all like that dude." Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Putin's out on camera now if they say this. If Dana call you and offer
but honor and integrity is something.
Or what if they let him fight in Russia? Come on now. What if they say come to Russia and fight and they do it? You don't think they'll make that?
Was this Rocky?
It could be.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's be honest. If we were, we would pay for that. If that was real, we'd pay for that fight. I'd pay for that fight.
Yeah.
So it could be another Rocky. It could be another Rocky. Let's be honest. I would love to set him up.
What if that picture of Conor with Putin months ago? What if all that was just talking about what would be needed for Khabib McGregor too?
Hey, man, I'm blaming all this on Drake still.